to Senate Bill 3043. This one we have 5 in support and 200 in opposition with 1 comment. Starting with Amy Murakami, Deputy Attorney General.
Good afternoon, Chair Nishihara, members of the committee. The Department of the Attorney General supports SB 3043. This bill addresses the recent federal court ruling in Yukutake versus Connors, which found that the Hawaii statute that requires a permit to acquire to be used within 10 days and the requirement that all firearms be physically inspected at the time of registration to be unconstitutional. This bill addresses the decision by increasing the permit to acquire a firearm from 10 days to 30 days and strikes the requirement that all firearms be physically inspected, but requires physical inspection of 3 classes of firearms, basically firearms that were manufactured without a serial number, firearms that are being brought in from out of state, and firearms being transferred between private individuals. These amendments are necessary to protect the public. The 30-day expiration date to use the permit is necessary because people's information changes over time with regards to their qualifications.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think your time has run out. So
just if I, in conclusion, you're asked that this bill. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We do have your testimony.
All right, Chair, just letting you know, you have about 20 minutes left on this discussion.
We're going to have to really move it then. Okay, we have John Abbott for Hawaii Firearms Coalition. John, I think you're up. You're muted though.
Oh, the unmuting muting game. Hello, Chair. My name is John Abbott with Hawaii Firearms Coalition. I appreciate the opportunity to present testimony today. Hawaii Firearms Coalition strongly opposes this bill. If you look at the actual ruling, which is attached to our testimony, it very clearly states that any form of in-person registration or inspection, any form of in-person inspection of the firearm was found to be unconstitutional. And basically, if they pass this bill as written, it'll be a direct violation of the court ruling, and it'll force a second lawsuit to remove those infringements once again. As the trial and the decision decided, the state did not present any reason that supported the public safety increase from these measures. Am I out of time?
I think you just run out of time, but thank you. I did read the testimony.
Thank you. We oppose this measure. Thank you.
Thank you. Marcus Tanaka.
Hi, I stand by my written testimony, but just want to say, the way the newer procedure is, it's a lot easier for me or others that we don't have to take off time from work to bring our firearm in. Hawaii law, I cannot bring my gun to work because one, my employer doesn't allow it, but I cannot just leave it in my trunk either, which means I got to drive home from work, pick up my firearm, drive back to the police station to show it in person, then drive it back home and then back to work. I cannot do this in my 1-hour lunch break. So again, to keep the online registration as is, and I'm for that.
Okay.
Not this bill, not for this bill.
You're right. You're opposed to the bill. Okay, Ryan Tinahero. You're muted, Ryan.
Senators of the PSM committee, thank you for your time. I just want to reiterate my strong opposition to the bill as is in my testimony.
Okay, thank you. We have your testimony.
Senators, all right, I'm back.
Okay, thank
I
you.
want to reiterate my strong opposition as written in my written testimony. The very fact that we are holding this testimony virtually rather than in person demonstrates that the real threat to public safety is the COVID-19 virus that spread person to person, and the in-person requirement in SB 3043 contradicts the very aspects of public safety. In the event that we have to present our firearms, we're put at risk with this requirement. In order to better ensure public safety, the only way forward is to strike out the provisions requiring any inspections of our firearms in person, again, because that endangers the public. And then two, to retain the current virtual construct of registration,
summarize,
since it
Brian?
is one, working well, and two, saves time and money for constituents and state employees alike. I'm
Okay,
available
thank
for any
you.
questions should you have any.
Okay, thank you. Michael Rice?
Aloha, I'd like to reiterate my opposition to this. I mostly started my testimony, but I would like to add about the incident I mentioned in it where my brother was actually attacked while he was in line to register his handgun at HPD. This incident happened real fast. Man just punched him in the chest, like, wanted to fight him. And nobody in line noticed it before the guy walked away. Nobody from HPD noticed it. He texted me because I was in the garage, down in the garage feeding the meter, and I managed to get up there before like HPD responded to it. And they were like, "Oh, do you want to press charges?" And that's pretty much all they did. I mean, if he had just grabbed the case that my brother's gun was in and ran off, now some crazy guy has a gun. That's a risk that that's one of the risks that the in-person registrations have on this. If there's any questions, I yield the rest of my time, but I am available.
Thank you, Michael. We have your testimony as well. Andrew Roberts.
Good morning, Chair, members of the committee. I'm in opposition to this bill. I want to touch on just 2 points. One is the Attorney General saying that this is a matter of safety. Since COVID-19 in 2020, all the way to mid-2021, we did not have any registration in the state. People could not go to the police station and register their guns, and that was because the police departments were closed for walk-in meetings. Where was their concern then? The other thing is to point out is since 2012 until 2021, 371,491 guns were registered in the state. From that, the police departments reported that just 14 guns violated state laws, restrictions on the type of guns that you can own. That's 0.0037% of firearms actually violated the law. There's no public safety issue that requires in-person inspection. And in fact, the police departments have written down many things wrong. We see police officers measuring firearms with rulers and tape measures and getting inaccurate measurements and then having to re-verify with superior officers. My personal registration had my eye color as blue. My eyes are brown, and that was written on my form. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Todd Yoshitake. Yokutake.
Good afternoon, Public Safety Committee. I'm Todd Yukutake, plaintiff in the lawsuit this bill is involved in. I oppose SB 3043. I do not want in-person inspections of any firearms, but I do support the 30-day permit expiration date change. This bill serves no purpose and is a burden to me. Judge Seabright rejected the state's arguments, and no other state has an in-person firearms inspection requirement anywhere in the nation. Cost me time and money to register my guns in person. Police departments have already implemented remote firearms registration through the phone, email, or internet in compliance to the judge's order. The people love it. They come up to me and thank the police departments for doing this. It saves them time and money. Also, people can voluntarily go to the police department to get their firearms inspected, so this bill isn't needed. If someone's concerned if their firearm may be not in compliance, they can go to the police department and check it out. Please oppose SB 3043 or amend it to remove in-person inspection of all firearms and keep the 30-day permit expiration date. Then this case is
thank you, Todd. Thank you. Okay, so like I said, we had 200 people opposed to it. So we'll now move on to Senate Bill 31 and Senate Bill 3043. We're going to defer this bill.